We're coming together to discuss a critical investment in our state parks and trails that will make views like this possible and more accessible for generations to come. Investments in public spaces make Michigan more competitive and attractive for tourism and position us as a recreation leader. And they're critical components to our seasonal and rural economies. Tourism is vital to our economy and to our overall economic health. And COVID disproportionately hit our tourism industry and hospitality sectors. So this is a valuable use of federal funds to help communities who rely on tourism to rebound from the impacts of the pandemic. Michigan's outdoor recreation industry supports billions in GDP and sustains 126,000 jobs and over $4.7 billion in wages and salaries in Michigan alone. Unfortunately, over the last decade, we haven't invested in our parks and public spaces like we should. Because of the disinvestment, and I should say over the last decades, because of the disinvestment, our state parks have had a $264 million backlog of maintenance requests. Now, our parks are essential infrastructure, and they need to be stewarded as such. So today I'm proposing a historic investment to tackle the backlog and to modernize our parks, to improve access and to preserve them for generations to come. Of the billions in federal relief dollars sent to us by President Biden's American Rescue Plan, I'm proposing that we use $250 million to work on the backlog of park infrastructure projects and provide new investment. These projects include things like upgrading water and sanitary systems, preserving historic structures, and installing and improving vital park infrastructure. Parks are also critical pillars of the local economy. Tourism to these parks generates value for surrounding communities, creating jobs and sustaining small businesses. On average, every dollar we invest in land conservation leads to $4 in economic benefit. Investments in parks can uplift communities as we emerge from this pandemic and continue our economic jumpstart. Although $250 million is significant investment, it will not completely address the backlog. So we need to have a sustainable solution that helps the department handle maintenance requests going forward. And I look forward to working with members of the legislature across the aisle to have a real bipartisan long-term investment on this front. So this pandemic has highlighted a lot of things, and one of them is just how essential parks are to our physical and mental well-being. Although nearly every aspect of our lives was impacted by COVID, our public spaces remained open through it all. And as the director mentioned, a historic number of people came out to enjoy them. It was a major uptick in 2020. Michiganders and people from out of state flocked here to take advantage of these beautiful public spaces. Within our parks, there are countless options for outdoor recreation, and the businesses that facilitate those activities are key partners in our work to preserve and improve outdoor spaces. We know that time spent here leads to more physical activity, better mental health, and less stress. So our parks help us reset and recover from the stresses of our daily lives and connect with our loved ones. They're equally beloved by all Michiganders, regardless of geography, income, race, or class, or politics. Last November, Prop 1, which changed the Natural Resource Trust Fund formula to allow for more development of outdoor recreation opportunities on our public lands to ensure that every community has access to outdoor experiences, it passed with over 80% of the vote. I know it's hard to fathom in this moment that 80% of us agree on anything, but we agreed on this, and that is strength. In times of need, this is collective solace. So, after a pandemic that exacerbated and exposed so many underlying issues and put a strain on our mental health and physical well-being, we need our parks more than ever. And that's why right now is the time to make this historic investment. I'm excited about what this can bring, and I hope everyone has a wonderful summer.